Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Glad that you joined me today. It's already towards the end of August. It's crazy that we are ramping up towards school and that businesses are really are open again, and we're really starting to see some money moving. There's some really good things that are happening in the business world as we continue to transition and as we continue to normalize our lives in this pandemic world. Just really interesting how everybody's adapting. The really great thing that I'm seeing is that there's so many new innovative approaches and experimental approaches to be able for individuals and businesses to connect with new clients, to have new streams of clients, to be able to reach more target audiences. All of those things are very, very positive. And as entrepreneurs and business owners ourselves, it's important to remember some of those things as we go into the fall. And it's crazy that we're getting toward the end of the year. We're thinking about the end of the year already. And many of us would say, thank goodness 2020 is going to be over. We're going to have a new page in 2021. There's still a lot of time in 2020. So let's get down to a couple of different strategies that we could talk about with how we can enhance our culture and reach more people. What I'm going to talk about today, I read this interesting piece in the New Yorker today that talked about leadership, and that, we're in the middle of an election year, and we're also in the middle of a year where we're trying to figure out our businesses because there's been this pandemic that has thrown a wrench into everything, to most economies in the world, and particularly it's been really challenging with small businesses. As we move through these things as business owners and as business owners and as head of businesses, it's just important to remember a couple things. So in the boost today, I wanted to talk about how leading with compassion and leadership with innovation is something that's going to become really something that is revered, and that businesses that have these innovative approaches will have more loyalty, have more referrals, will be able to really bolster those small businesses with that clear identity and with that adaptation to the business that is happening, the business culture that's happening around us. So the first thing to talk about is how it's important as a leader when we are encouraging innovation, not only as we're connecting with our other employees, but also when we're connecting with our consumers and our clients, that things are different, our approaches are different. So pointing out how important it is to act with integrity and ethics. Those are some really core things to not only highlight with your potential clients and talk about with your current clients, but to make sure that that is an important part of your business identity, and to make sure that's a part of your daily, weekly, whatever communication you have with your current clients, with your sphere of communication, with that really strong base that you have, to make sure that you're not only identifying how the ethics and the integrity that control your business interactions, but that you're also highlighting those things. So if you have employees that act with integrity or display some of these ethics within your business, then it's important to highlight that, to talk about it, and to reassure your clients and to reassure the people that contribute to your business that they are contributing, that you are putting your best efforts forward to act with ethics and integrity. In the age of social media, and in the age where things are so loud and we're surrounded by all this noise, whether it's news or whether it's on social media, wherever that is, there's so much conversation out there. It's just important to remind those that are close to us that we're acting with ethics and we're acting with integrity. You can do that in a couple of different ways. It can be a simple email, or if you send out a newsletter, or if you have weekly meetings with your employees. All of those things can be bolstered and enhanced by what happens in your work environment, just acting with ethics. And I think we see so much with our leaders, and I'm not pointing to a particular leader, but we're in the political season, so debates are getting really heated. We're surrounded with political advertisements on both sides. We're very polarized. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, it's both sides are very loud, and whether or not you agree with it, it's all that noise, and we maybe don't see a lot of ethical communication during this time. Very emotional, so it's just important to remind your clients of those ethics. The second thing to remember, the second thing I want to talk about today is how important it is, and as many of you know, I'm a professor here at a college, and I really feel that it's important as we think about how we're going to approach the school year to think about where the students are at and where the students have been at in the past couple of months. And now they're coming back to school, and now they're going to enter a new environment, and there's this fear that we have, and there's just these situations at home. So maybe they have situations at home, maybe they have situations with their family or their grandparents, or there's this additional stress that surrounds all of us during this time. I think about this particularly with students, and I have many friends that are teachers, that as students come back to school, we have to negotiate and manage these fears and just alter the way that we do things to be able to show that appreciation. As business owners, as entrepreneurs, it's extremely important to be able to do that too, to be able to understand that your customers and your employees are all dealing with similar stresses, whether it be kids are going back to school, or they have a family member that's ill, or they can't find childcare for their kids, whatever that is. Approaching things with empathy and understanding where your audience is coming from, and understanding those challenges, that's really important to be an innovative and empathetic leader during this time. And it will just, again, those approaches will start to draw people in to your business because they know that you're coming from the same place. So all very challenging times that we have, but the leaders and the businesses that will emerge during this time are going to be the leaders that are approaching their ideas, approaching their business efforts with empathy and with innovation, pivoting and figuring out, understanding that we're all on the same page is where we're at. So we are dealing with stress, but also the people that we're dealing with are dealing with similar stresses. So I talked about that a lot last week when I talked about the culture of connection, how even in this socially distant world, even though things are opened up again, we still have this, not necessarily fear, but we still have this hesitancy around those social interactions that create fear and that are challenging for business interactions. So we just have to remember that, and I'll be on the same page. The third thing I'll talk about, and I talk about this pretty consistently across the board, how important it is for businesses to pivot their practices, but stay consistent with their core values and their mission. And I say this over and over again because it is so fundamentally important for small businesses and entrepreneurs to have that consistent brand, to identify with those core values, and to make sure those core values are consistent in your marketing efforts, in your communication with clients, in your promotions, in your marketing, all of those things, to make sure that we have a consistent display of those core values to remind our audience why that's so important and how your business is staying strong even though we have to pivot some things to change how we interact. It's been really challenging these past couple of months to adapt and to adjust to this new climate of this new economic climate, and it's been challenging. But the businesses that stay strong and have that empathetic and innovative leaders are going to be the ones that last through this crisis and that flourish when the money really starts flowing again. So I'm happy you joined me today. It was great to see you on a Monday for the Business Boost. Let's get out there and understand our clients and understand where everybody's coming from and be innovative in this time. And it will just reap many, many benefits in your business. So again, I'm here every Monday and business coach, and I would love to talk with you if you have any questions about how to enhance your culture, be more productive, all of those things. I'm here every Monday. So I'll see you next week. Have a good week.